In today's video, sponsored by Yuzu Games, I want to give you 7 tips to get a crazy, fast start in the Game of Thrones Winter is Coming city building war game. This is a game that I am playing and am enjoying very much, and if you use the link in the description to download the game, that will let the developers know that I sent you their way, and you can play in your browser or download to play on your PC. Now, the main objective that you've got for getting a crazy fast start in the game is to be efficient in a number of areas, and I'm going to talk through what those are. So let's start with tip number 1, which is that you want to drop all of your diamonds at the start into VIP. There are blue diamonds that you can see in the upper right, and those blue diamonds are an important currency. But at the start of the game, VIP gives you huge boosts. It gives you free speed up time. It gives you stats. It gives you resource production, march speed, and more. So yes, you want to power up your VIP as much as you can with every blue diamond that you can spare at the start of the game so that you can get to ideally VIP level 8 is a pretty good landing spot. Now, in addition, there are privilege packs that you can get, but don't focus on those if you don't have blue diamonds to spare. You want to use those diamonds just powering up your VIP. Now, from there, the tip number 2 that I'm going to give you is around the talents that you're going to use. Now, if you're brand new to the game, you might not know what the heck to do. I personally am a huge fan of economy, and the economy in this game is out of this freaking world. You can get so much building and research speed reduction. It is incredible. So my recommendation to you is to put the absolute minimum number of points necessary to unlock your construction speed and your research speed and to max them as fast as you can. Look at that, 30% over here. And if I scroll down, I've got another 55% over here. This is a game-changing amount of building and research speed. Now, there are other places that you can go to get really powerful boosts. And this is like, I don't know, 5 tips in one here, but you can work on research that improves your construction speed. For example, that is available right over here in your Maester's Tower. You go to production, building mastery, super powerful. I already have 28% building speed, and I'm going to go for more. There's also equipment. There are commanders that give boosts. There are even small boosts that you can get. For example, over here, there's something called the honor token. You can get for free at the start of the game a 3-day trial of the honor token, which is going to give you 20% research speed and building speed. Huge. And in the nobility section, as you power up, your nobility level will go up. And this also gives you more free speed up time and building speed, which is huge. So you want to get as much building speed as you can, starting with the talents, but going all the way through here, and every single percent you can pick up is really, really good. Now, the third tip that I want to give you is that you should power through the Weirwood. Now, I've made it pretty far, considering that we're like, I don't know, 48 hours in at this point. However, the thing that makes that even possible is the one commander, Sansa Stark. Dude, she is a freaking monster. She has a huge team heal, and it changes everything. Even if you're not playing well, if you use her heal and you have her, you're going to do very well. Now, you can unlock her in the early game very, very, very easily. You can get her for free by entering in your email address. So I've got my email address here, and then you verify it and you get codes. Super easy. Get your Sansa Stark medals and rank her up. I mean, I don't think I have her particularly high rank either. If I make my way back and we look at her quality, she's green. Okay, the quality ranking, she's green. Obviously, higher the better, but her heal is freaking amazing. That will let you progress really, really far. Now, one other tip, bonus tip, is that you can actually look at the stats of these heroes. You can look at their health and you can look at their defense. And what I found is that some heroes are more tanky than others. They have more health and defense. Put them in the front row when you're going and you're doing the Weirwood, okay? Now, from here, tip number 4 is that I want to give you some advice around using speed ups. I think you should use your speed ups very, very liberally at the start of the game. Why am I saying that? At the start of the game, you want to get into a good alliance, ideally the number one alliance on your server. In order to do that, you really want to push power and stay active. The only real metric that people have at the start of the game is your power. So use speed ups to gain power and push progress, focusing on your castle. That will get you great value, but there's more, because at the start of the game, there is this amazing event where you get some amount of resources and speed ups returned to you. You heard me correctly. So depending on how much you actually do, you're going to get either 100% or after that point 50% or after that point 20% of your resources and speed ups returned to you, which is insane. So you want to take full advantage of the 100% returns at least. And I think you should go for more because it's still really good to get a 50% return. And this event takes place over the course of 4 days. And then they're returned to you in the next 4 days. So day one of the server opening and you're having your character creation, right? All those resources are returned to you, I believe, on day 5. So use speed ups resources liberally, and you can see for each of these, if you highlight over it, what the return ratio is. And as an example, you can see I've exceeded my research speed up 100% return ratio. Looks like I'm at a 50% return ratio. Whereas up top over here, the first 3 million resources, it looks like I got that 100% return ratio, right? But now I've really exceeded that. So we're at a 50% return. I think it's for the remaining stuff that I consume resource-wise there. Now, the next tip I want to give you, even though I just said to use lots of speed ups and use lots of resources at the start, is to not speed up your troops too much. And it will be tempting to train lots of troops. I want troops. Everybody wants troops, okay? But on the second day, I've already unlocked tier 3. Now, you may not unlock tier 3 on your second day, but I happen to have done that. And I happen to have used a lot of speed ups to get there. But my point is that you're going to get higher tiers of troops. You'd much rather be spending your speed ups on higher tiers of troops. You don't want to be speeding up lots of T1s, which there might be a way to actually upgrade from low tier to high tier, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm probably just being a noob, but definitely let me know down below in the comments the exact way that you upgrade a lower tier of troop to a higher tier of troop, if it's even possible. And if it's not possible, then you'll be even more glad that you did not speed up low tiers of troops, okay? Now, the next thing that I wish I had understood, and this is tip number 6, is that you should stuff your dragon with food. If you have dragon food, feed your dragon. Now, there are events, and those events will let you also get extra rewards for feeding your dragon. However, there is a time period in which your dragon can grow up, and it's like 20, 24 hours. I think it was maybe 24 hours, maybe both times for the first level, and now I'm on the second sort of evolution of my dragon here. Point is that you're going to be stuck. You're stuck waiting for this thing to level up. So I sort of wish that I had stuffed mine with food the second I had gotten in here. And that way, you know, it would be leveled up sooner. Now, that said, there are things you can do with your dragon when it's not leveling up, such as exploration. Don't miss out on your exploration. And also, don't miss out on your free construction speed boost. I mean, I even still need to take advantage of this. I can reduce the current construction time by 1.5 hours, and it can be used every 24 hours. There are also skills that you can put on your dragon. I need to go look into what passive skill I'm going to use next here. I have some choices. I'm not sure which one I want to do. Theoretically, I can remove them, and that's probably pretty easy to do, so maybe I shouldn't fret too much. But the big thing that I wish I had done is stuff the dragon with food as soon as you get in here, and that way you get that 24-hour cooldown going really, really quickly. Now, the final big tip I want to give you for the early game, and I'm sure there are many, many more that I will be able to offer you as I progress further in the game. So consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're getting value from this video, I mean, you're probably like 10 minutes into this video, so you probably are getting value. Consider subscribing. What I would recommend for your hospitals, your mints, and also your army tents, when you have the option to build one of these buildings, I think you want a split of hospitals and mints. Now, there are a bunch of endgame strategies that are probably very different, but it seems like in the early game, you want to accomplish a couple things. First of all, you can't seem to get enough gold, okay? Gold dragons are super crucial. So you want to get as much of that as you can. Mints give you gold dragon production, okay? They also give you training speed boosts. Well, those are two things that I really, really like. So yeah, one other reason, by the way, that you shouldn't be speeding up your troops a ton at the start is you will later get a bunch of mints, and mints give you training speed boosts, and training speed boost means you're saving speed ups. That's a win, right? Now, the reason that I say hospitals are really important is that although you're not going to need them immediately at the start of the game, you will eventually need them. And you don't want to run out of hospital capacity. If you run out of hospital capacity, you could potentially lose a bunch of troops. So my recommendation would be a split of those hospitals, okay, and mints. And I went 50-50. I'm sure there are much more nuanced approaches that you can take. But for the purpose of just banging things out at the start, don't leave all of these squares empty, okay? Don't overthink it. In a worst case, you could dig it up, you can dismantle it, and you can build something later. So just get some stuff down so you start getting value from these buildings. Now, there are lots of other things that I honestly want to talk about. There's so much to discuss with powering up in this game, but I think these 7 tips will give you an amazing jumpstart. And if I could go back in time and say, okay, Chisgule, let me tell you these things before you start playing the game, I think that would have been really helpful. And thankfully, I caught most of that in my live stream when we were playing this in real time. So if you want to see when I played through the early game, I'll have a card up in the top or also in the end screen that will take you to the live stream where I must have been like 6+ hours of gameplay, where I went from like castle level 8 up to castle level 16. It was a very fun stream, and I learned a lot as I played through it. I imagine you will as well. So consider checking that out. And also, if you are downloading the game, use the link in the description of the video. That'll let the sponsor of today's video, Yuzu Games, know that I sent you their way. And you can download to play on PC, which is how I'm playing right now, or you can play directly in your browser, whatever works for you. But personally, I think the PC version runs a little bit better for me. So if you enjoyed the video, do me that huge favor of throwing a like on here. I also have in the description a link to a Discord server for our Alliance. There is a public area where you can just chill and chat separate from the Alliance area. So if you are a member of the Alliance and you're watching this video, definitely join the Discord server. I think most people are already in there. But even if you're not in our alliances, you're welcome to join us just to chill and talk about all things Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. One last thing that I'll add is that if you want to join my server and also join my alliance, what you'll need to do when you start the game is progress through a couple of the chapters you see on the right here. Then you'll go to the world map. When you're on the world map, which is loading now, I'll be able to click on the globe icon and you'll basically migrate to my server. You get a novice teleport item that will take you there. So you can see in the upper right, there's the globe. This is the world map. This is showing you all the different kingdom numbers and kingdoms. I'm in kingdom 386. So depending on when you start playing, you may start in a younger server, a newer server than mine. You'll always start in the newest server that opens. So in order to join into my server, what you would do is you would click the server, then you would scroll a little bit beyond the tree line. You'll tap on the map and you'll hit the relocate button. Now you'll have an option to relocate to my server as long as you are below castle level 9. So this is something you'll want to do really, really early before you power up too much. It's also going to drop a bunch of open resources that you have. So really early on, if you do decide you want to join us in 386, you're welcome to play here. And just be sure that you relocate before you've powered up too much. Until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing your enemies.